Hello for followers and welcome back to Lividius Gaming, and today, as you can see from my setup here, we are going to be doing the brewing room. Yes, just aside from here at the farm with the nether wart, we're actually going to be doing the brewing room. So I brought along a few things to test and try out for this room. I do know that I am going to put a 3x3 door right here to cover this up. And I've already figured out the dispenser setup here. Let me just chuck some ender pearls in. If I push this button, it actually spits out 3 ender pearls. So this is going to be great for water bottles and for what else that we need 3 of? Glass bottles maybe to fill up and that kind of thing. That's going to be really handy for. Everything else is just going to be running off a one output dispenser, because after all we only need one item for brewing. So we'll have like a wall, I think, over here of all the different items that we can choose when brewing to brew different potions. In terms of storing potions, I'm not entirely sure on that yet. We may also have a potion storage rack as well. So I brought along some sandstone to test what this would look like. We want to start building it here. So we've got some normal sandstone, and we also have the smooth type, which I've also brought down. I have a ton of sand, which I can make into sandstone. Whoops, this pick just cuts through sandstone. So we have these two options, and I think I like this one better, to be honest. We still have to think about lighting. That's one thing that we have to think about. I'm thinking of using the lamps for that in here. And yeah, so I think the first thing that we really need to do is get the sandstone on the walls, which is pretty simple. I'm just going to have to do this, and then I will think about lighting a little later. So I do have cobble for any gaps, like that. Yeah, and our door will go here. How do I want to do the door? Do I want to put stone bricks here? I might put some stone bricks around the door. I'll think about that as we're designing this. So let's just do this. I'm not going to time-lapse this because it's too short, really. Let's just take out these for right now. So I just want to fill all of this in. I'll put the torches back momentarily. Whoops. Give me that back. Put you here. Oh good, I do have 1 block left. Excellent. So let's put these 3 torches back where they were, and let's get some more. I have an absolute ton of sandstone here. It's not going to be the biggest of rooms. I don't want it to be a massive room. It's very little that we need to do in brewing, so there's no real point in me doing that. So did I pick up that torch? I did. Excellent. So this one was 5 wide, this one will be 5 wide when I've done this. Now I could conserve some sandstone by saving it on the corners, but honestly it's not worth it. I have an absolute ton of the stuff, so I'm not worried about that. So let's get this filled in here. Okay. I'll get these back. This should provide sufficient amounts over the wall. Like so. Might need a few more torches in here. And how long is this? We've got 3, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if I bring this wall across here, then I'm going to make it 9. And I think 9 long should be enough. Because my biggest concern, if anything, is just making sure that there's enough room for like all the chests and stuff. And I'm going to leave this open. I didn't fill this in. We have a bit more room if we need it, because this used to be an empty corridor. So if we have, say, a row of item frame, no, we need a row of, yeah, we want actually a row of item frames here, row of chests, row of item frames, row of chests, row of item frames, row of chests, row of item frames, row of chests. So we do have a lot of chest space if we decide we want to do it that way, which I think we are going to do. So that's one advantage on our side. We still have to think about how we want to do the floor. I've not really thought much about the floor yet. I'm not entirely sure about the ceiling either. So why don't we just go ahead and do that. I know I want to use wool in the floor if I can. I would like to use wool, but I want to use the purple wool, as purple wool and sandstone go very well together. But it's around the edge. I really want to give it a border, and oak planks aren't the best border, I don't really think, for this. Let's just try oak planks. With the purple wool as well, I don't think that would really suit it. What does sandstone look like? That's one thing we've not tried. Sandstone. I think that would be a bit too much sandstone, considering that the walls are already made of it. Let me think. Tell you what we'll try. Nether brick. Let's try nether brick. I have some of that left over. I don't want to use nether rack, but maybe some nether brick. I got a lot of nether brick when digging out the blaze farm, so why don't we go and grab some nether brick. It's somewhere around here. There we go. I was thinking maybe using this in the ceiling as well. As like a border, but I'm not entirely sure on that. So let's try this on the floor around the edge. See, that contrasts nicely. It doesn't look ugly, but my concern is what it's going to look like with the purple wool. So why don't we go and fetch some purple, and then we'll see where we are at that point. We might be onto a winner. So I haven't done too many improvements around the cave here. There's not been a lot to really do. I've done some more work on my secret project, if anything, but honestly I've been doing a lot of Feed the Beast stuff lately, which you saw the episode of yesterday, I believe. Right, purple wool. You know what, I forgot the shears, didn't I? I really like the sheep cells. This is a big win for me, I think. There we go, got some shears. I'm gonna eat my steak. So there is one problem with one of these sheep cells. I didn't spread the grass in them, it's that one. I will do that off camera. But they are really loud. They're really, really loud. What there? Oh, it's back in there. I don't want to lose any sheep. Alright, well. Don't know why, but that seems to be some sort of colouring bug. So let me shear my sheep. There we are. And now, I don't have any in here, do I? I do have 11 pieces of wool. And there's some being flushed through the system there. Let's turn that off. Alright, well, 19 certainly isn't going to cover it, but the whole floor, I mean, but it's a start. It's a start in the right direction. I can always finish it off camera if I need to. Stuff like floors. Purple wool. Alright, let's head over here. One thing I am noticing is we're going to have to improve travel around this cave because it's so large to try and get around things. I don't know how completely I'm going to do that yet, but I'll think of a way around travel. I have been considering maybe tearing out some of the walls to make it a bit more open. That's something I'll think about. So let's try the wool with this. Let's try it against a corner. So we want the purple there, then we want the nether brick around here. This needs to go, and we will put nether brick across the front, and then we can tear this out as well. This is all going to go anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. Let me try that, and let's just get a piece of wool in here. It doesn't look bad, I have to say. We kind of have the sharp contrast here and then a more gentler contrast between these two. Yeah, I think I like that. If you have any suggestions about this room, pop them in the description. I mean, it's easy enough for me to change it. I think that we will go for this right now, though, is what I'm thinking. So I'm going to put my nether brick all the way around. Get rid of these. I was going to build this Ooh, what's down here? Oh, it's this thing. An uncleared cave is what that is. So let's hide that. And let's come back across here. Okay, it's covered up there. Let's fill in this. Here we go. Put this all the way around. And let's experiment here with nether brick. There we go. Now we can experiment some more. And let's fill in the remainder of this. Yeah, I'm seeing that. I'm seeing this room looking quite sharp and clear. Obviously this is going to have to go in the middle. I mean, this is kind of what is distracting to the whole room itself. But yeah, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut the camera and I'm going to finish work on this, and I'm going to rig up the dispensers, I think, because you've seen it now. I'd rather just show you the working copy in action rather than me digging all of this out and doing the redstone. So I will be right back. Hello followers, and welcome back to the Lividius Gaming roleplay server. And oh, where am I? My time appears to have come. Yeah, that footage you just saw was recorded about a month ago, and for one reason and another I never got to finish the episode off, but you'll be seeing this footage now. But I have an announcement to make as regards the Lividius Gaming SMP and Feed the Beast. I am moving off this server. We are moving to a private server which was set up to help video makers such as myself, and it's a staff only thing. I will pop on here as normal, but I won't be recording on here anymore. Occasionally I might come on though to read my fan mail and stuff, as I always do, but now my recordings will be taking place on a new server which is almost set up. We're just having some troubles with the nether right now. It's a bit buggy with some portal mechanic problems, but yeah, that pretty much in a nutshell sums up what's happening. Recently, the reason behind the change is, firstly, this is a roleplay server, which means it's always going to have a lot of plugins installed. And to me, plugins are a bit like mods. They're like lightweight mods, basically. And it's becoming less and less vanilla, which means it's not an SMP series, basically. It's a modded series. So I want to get back to the core vanilla stuff. So we are moving over to a pure vanilla, no mods, no plugins, nothing like that. I think there's some bucket essentials on there to help us set some spawns and stuff like that. But nothing like the plugins we have here. So that's going to give you and I a better vanilla experience, for sure. That's really going to help us out. And that's why I'm really moving away from this. It's kind of sad to see this base no longer be recorded. I might take some recording trips here though every now and again, because I'll probably still work on it off camera from now on, as there was a lot that I've done here, an awful lot. And the thing that kind of swung my mind, because at first I was I didn't want to leave the server. I was dead set against it. I did not want to leave. I'd built up a base here. My series was on here. And I was convinced that I was never ever going to leave. But as things have progressed and developed over the past couple of months, there's been a lot of changes go on, and we are implementing a new world limiter, basically, which means that you can't travel beyond, I believe they're setting it at 20,000 blocks. For me, if I wanted to venture beyond 20,000 blocks, and let's face it, eventually most people are going to on a server, I'm not going to be able to do that, and it's going to compact everybody in. And from what I can tell, I think that's going to cause a lot of conflicts between faction groups and territory wars and that kind of thing. So I would prefer at least to be out of that and on a server which is not experiencing that, because there's only 10 slots available. So don't ask for an application to the SMP server. It's only for staff. It won't even be read, I can assure you of that. If you become a staff member here, we are not currently looking for any staff, but if you in the event become staff, then you can inquire about that. But so everything basically here, there's a lot of stuff here anyway as well that is broken. All of my redstone was broken in 1.5. That brewing room you just saw, whoa, we're getting some heavy lag here, but that brewing room you just saw was in actual fact built in 1.4. It's now broken, unfortunately, so that's kind of a problem. So in addition to that, the sheep cells are broken, pretty much anything redstone based. The skeleton grinder's broken, so unfortunately that means that I'm going to have to spend a lot of time repairing stuff anyway. So I just wanted to get that out there, that we are moving. I don't know when exactly. I'll be recording Lividius Gaming SMP again. Perhaps, hopefully, fingers crossed, within this next week. And Feed the Beast, yes, Feed the Beast is, it went away for a while. I spoke about it in a stream not too long ago, but Feed the Beast did actually end up having some issues. We ran into a problem with the latest update to Feed the Beast and we couldn't connect properly. So the server was recycled at the time to build a new spawn for this server. That build is either finished or I'm not sure what's going on with the build, but what I do know is the owner of that server has decided he wants to bring Feed the Beast back, and it's now back. I've worked quite a bit on that server. I have a base set up and a few early machines, and I will be recording that very soon, so you can expect Feed the Beast to come back. I'm looking forward to getting more into that. I'm not too far in yet. I've just been doing some mining, and I've also been doing a few other little bits and pieces, but nothing groundbreaking yet. I've been having to learn a few things off the other users and off some videos because I don't understand it all. You know me and Redstone, we are okay, but I don't know everything. So Feed the Beast will be back soon. Hopefully SMP will be back soon. I hope this answers some of your questions regarding where this series has gone, and I hopefully will be recording it again soon. So yeah, Brewing Room and Changing of the Guard, I guess we'll call this episode, as this base is now being officially retired from videos, and we are moving to new and exciting things. So I still recommend that you come on. I will probably be on from time to time, so you can come and have a chat with me if you feel like it. I'm usually around during the day on GMT time, so for you American people that's probably going to be sort of your morning, afternoon time, so I'm going to be on. But I won't be on every day, I don't think. Maybe every couple of days, I think. Maybe once every other day, probably I will be on to keep my deadbolt updated and to keep everybody in line in my role. As many of you know, I am the head moderator on the server, so I have to keep everybody who's a moderator and community manager in line. So I'm still going to be on fairly regularly, dealing with any issues that may arise and stuff like that. But for at least from a video making aspect of it, we are now over here. So why don't we just take a quick look around at some of the stuff that never got finished. The beacon room never finished. I was going to plan on finishing that. The base itself never got finished properly. The mushroom farm, never ever got used. I built it for really no reason, and it's kind of never got use since, really. The farm, this has got some use, the farm. I will probably build a bigger farm on the new server. The brewing room right here, never got to use this. Here's the finished product. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but this is the finished product. Still didn't put all the chests in, and I never finished adding water in here. But that was meant to distribute 3 bottles. Now it only distributes 1. It's all broken. So unfortunately I would have had to have gone back and fixed that. And I probably will at some point, but just not right now. Beyond that, what else did I build here? The cow farm. The cow farm still works, and I actually started using that again. It was a long while since I used it, but the cow farm does indeed still work. What was that? Was that a spider? There's a spider up here somewhere. It's up there somewhere. Probably right there, I imagine, somewhere. Never mind. So, yeah, that cow farm, got some use again, but I still don't use it excessively. But there's the cow farm. That was one of the first things I built. What else did I build? Oh yeah, the furnace room. This still works. Man, this still works. Here's the fortune. Sorry, this... I'm losing my words. This is the fortune... I'm holding the fortune pick, which is why I'm saying fortune. This is the furnace room. There we go. This still works, but this was one of my better builds. I'll probably re-implement that on the new server at some point. One thing I do want to do while I'm here is check out. I do have a bunch of diamond ore, and I have this fortune 3 pick. So why don't we use that up? And we are getting some lag, and that's one of the reasons why we're having this new server set up with the world border to prevent lag, from what I understand. I personally, I don't like it, but I can see why it's being implemented. It kind of hampers the vanilla experience, but then again, as I said earlier, this is not technically a vanilla server. Yes, you don't need any mods to use it, but there is plugins, so it's not technically vanilla. But, say what you wish, I guess. This is the fortune pick, right? Yes. Yeah, I just saw multiple diamonds drop there. So that's something that obviously sprung to fruition over the past couple of days and has kind of made my decision a bit more cemented, I guess. So what else have we got to check out? I've already shown the sheep cells earlier in the episode. They're broken, unfortunately. So there's not much I can do about that. How many diamonds did I get in total? Nearly 2 stacks. That's not bad. See, this is what plugins do. You end up with so many diamonds, you don't know what to do with them. I can make a bunch of diamond blocks, I guess. But diamonds don't have that much use because the tools last that long that I don't need to make tools all the time. So they kind of just sit there for the majority of the time. So sheep cells, we've shown the... oh, of course, how could I forget the skelly grinder and the zombie grinder, and I think that is everything. I didn't do anything else. Man, major lag. This is the lag that people have been complaining about going into new unloaded chunks. How many people are on right now? Just one, so that means that there's going to be very little chunks loaded in. The skelly grinder. This is broke. The killing trap doesn't work properly anymore. There is a fix for it, and I'll just have to get around to implementing that. So the last thing that we will check out today is the zombie grinder, which was the first grinder I built, actually. If you weren't aware, this was at one time a mine shaft. I've converted it, pretty much all of it. I converted at one point or another to the what it is now, basically this sort of man cave, the Fretonia headquarters. I do have other bases elsewhere. I have a stronghold base, but there's really nothing there at the stronghold base, so there's nothing really worth showing on that. But here it is, the zombie grinder. I think this still works because it's a standard fall trap. Yeah, this is a zombie grinder, and the spawner's right down here. There we are. Man, I haven't been in here in ages. I've not used this since I got the blaze farm in the nether. I never use that anymore. So that's kind of that's a bit of history there from a couple of months ago. So as we wave goodbye to the Lividius Gaming roleplay server, I'm still going to be here. I'm just going to be doing videos on a different server. I hope that you've enjoyed watching me play on this server, but it's time to move on to pastures new now. Cool new stuff coming down the pipework very, very soon, and more Feed the Beast as well, so there's plenty of exciting times to come. Yes, it doesn't mean that you might not be able to have a direct impact on my video, but if you send me fan mail at the spawn, then I will always go and check that, and you will get read out. It will just be at the end of the episode, as always, basically. So you have that opportunity still there. That's not gone away. It's just that where I'm playing is different, if that makes sense. So I've kind of rambled on for an excessive amount of time now, so I think I'm going to call it here, guys. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the very near future on the new server. So thanks very much for your time, and until next time guys, see you later and have a good day.